honorable members, Ambassador Zheng, fellow attendees, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I am Taipei City Mayor柯文哲. It's a great pleasure for me to be here tonight. As the first mayor from Taiwan to make speech to our friends at the European Parliament. Today, my topic is a proud city with a progressive value. Because my English is not so good, okay, please allow me to speak slowly. Cities are even more important than before. The global urban population has now surpassed the rural population, and the trend will continue. However, I believe this trend is for the better, because cities that don't, on the whole, create problems. Rather, they provide solutions. As a mayor, I try to resolve problems encountered daily by my citizens. I focus on the issue themselves. If the water doesn't run, it doesn't matter who is the ruling party, because people will complain. I often say that if we can treat all small problems well, then there will be no big problem. I would like to tell you my story first, okay? My background was quite different from that of most politicians in Taiwan and in other countries, I believe, okay? I was a surgeon for 30 years before I became the mayor. In fact, I had been the director of surgical intensive care unit at the National Taiwan University Hospital for 17 years before I became the mayor. And my past daily life was fully occupied by clinical work, research, and teaching. Then, at 8 o'clock in the morning, on the 17th of February 2014, when I finished my night shift, I took off my white coat and hung it on a hook, walked out of the hospital individually, okay, single person, and started my campaign for Taipei City Mayor. Why did I make such a big change in my career and start the campaign for Taipei City Mayor? Because I myself wanted a change in Taiwan political culture. The people of Taipei, were tired of long-term story of political rivalry and trickery. They were eager for change. They wanted a candidate who didn't belong to any political party. And they need someone to tell the truth and lead them into the future, not someone who talks a lot and stays in place. They were so desperate, so they chose me to be the mayor, okay? Really. I had no political background. I had no political affiliation. I had nothing to lose, so I could try my best. The worst case scenario is if I fail in the campaign, I just go back to be a doctor again, okay? And as you know, the income of the surgeon is much better than that of mayor. So I had nothing to lose, so I could try my best. And my campaign slogan was such, okay, change in Taiwan, start with Taipei. Change in Taipei, start with the political culture. My campaign team was like a grassroots startup, and I ran a political venture capital company, okay? I used the internet to recruit a lot of young persons. My entire campaign budget came from crowdfunding from the internet. And I published all my campaign accounts in the internet, open to the public, to people know how their donated money was used. What's more, I stopped raising funds long before the deadline, because I thought, okay, if the money is enough for the campaign, so I should stop raising the money. Okay. I don't have this opportunity to make a lot of money. Okay. And my election victory meant the determination of people of Taipei to change the political culture. My values are democracy, freedom, diversity, openness, human rights, rule of law, and sustainability. And I was a surgeon and a professor in a medical school, and I like thinking, reading, and debating. Well, I have brought those values and those scientific methods into my role as mayor. And now we were putting them to the test to see whether they can provide a better standard of living for the people. The Economist published an annual report, the Global Livability Report 2017. 140 cities were assessed. And if the city rated above 80, that means the city has a high living standard. And the first one, the best, is Melbourne, Australia. The second, Vienna. And overall, most highly ranked cities were European or North American. The top 5 cities in Chinese cultural circle in this rating report were Singapore, Hong Kong, Taipei, Suzhou, Beijing. And as you can find in this slide, in comparison to Suzhou and Beijing, Taipei has higher rating in healthcare, culture and environment, and education, and the same rating in stability and infrastructure. This means Taipei has an advantage in soft power. I believe a modern livable city should embody values such as democracy, freedom, diversity, and openness. These are soft power, and these are what Taipei does best. Chinese society have their own culture and values, as Western society also have their Western values. But how to integrate Western values and beliefs into Chinese society? Taipei has overcome this difficulty and has become a good example. Taipei is within the so-called Chinese cultural circle. However, it has integrated the progressive Western value into the society. As mayor of Taipei, I hope the change that we made in Taipei, we have made in Taipei, will expand to other Asian cities. Here are a few examples that we have done in Taipei. Living justice. In 2016, at Taipei, the ratio of housing price to income is 15.64. That means it takes more than 15 hours income to buy an average apartment. Housing has become a big problem, especially for young people. The solution is to provide more public rent housing. And after I came to my office, I started the public housing campaign program. And by the end of this year, there will be 12,000 units under construction. Of course, it will take another 3 years to be completed. However, if we didn't start, then it's impossible for them to be complete in the future. Gender equality. Taipei is the most gender equality city in Asia. I believe gender equality will enable us to solve the labor shortage problem and the low fertility rate. And this will increase the city's competitiveness. Okay. Taipei is the first local government in Taiwan to set up an office of gender equality. This year, we will pilot a program giving gender equality seal to public and private organizations in line with the UN Development Program and the EU practice. Public trust. You have only 3 seconds to evaluate an organization where to check toilet. If you have only 30 minutes to evaluate a city where to check market. So, especially the traditional market, not the supermarket, okay? So, I mean, market is something you can check people's daily life in the city. So we started the market remodeling. In the past, my previous mayors, they don't care market. Because, do you know why? Because usually it takes more than 4 years to complete the remodeling. And I mean, when it is complete, maybe you are not the mayor at the time, okay? So they don't like to do this job. And as you may wonder, in this market, okay, in fact, they spend more than 18 years in the plan stage. And after I came to my office, I said, stop thinking, stop arguing. And now we start to work. So we started the remodeling. Openness. The world is cautiously observing the ongoing development in Taiwan's cross-strait relation. Taipei and Shanghai are the 2 largest cities on either side of the strait. And Taipei and Shanghai co-host the annual Taipei-Shanghai City Forum. This is an example of cross-strait city-to-city exchange. We try to keep the Taipei-Shanghai City Forum, no matter who came to the power in the central government. We work hard to reach a middle ground, and both cities cooperate to pursue greater happiness for their people, and we will keep on working together. This is something I want to express here. In February 2016, I rode bicycle from northernmost of Taiwan to southernmost of Taiwan. In total, there are 520 kilometers, and I complete the journey within 18 hours, 28 hours, within 1 day, okay? And someone asked me, okay, are you crazy? But this is something I hope to express to my people, okay? Taiwan is a small country. Without courage, what can we do? Nothing. So, I mean, I must show to the people in Taiwan, we can do something impossible. I mean, through your demonstration, okay, you tell your people, we can do something impossible. This just do it spirit come into play again during the 2017 Taipei Summer University. This was Taiwan's first time to host an international event of this scale. 12,000 athletes and guests came to Taiwan from 134 countries. The motto of this event was, bring Taiwan to the world, and bring the world to Taiwan, and let Taiwan be seen by the whole world. 2017 University lifted the spirits of the Taiwanese people. Initially, people are critical or skeptical. However, finally, it was a great success. It took them by surprise. It moved them. I believe this is what will always remain in the hearts of the Taiwanese people. I mean, we must let Taiwan people believe that we can do something impossible. Okay. It is very important to learn from the rest of the world. Each trip overseas means a chance to learn from the world. And on our current trip, I will become the first mayor to visit Turkey. Because I believe each trip overseas is a chance to learn from the world. And this is one of the reasons I went to cities where no other Taiwanese mayors have ever been. Dr. Xu Zuoyun is a scholar at Taiwan Academic think Tank. He observed in the recent elections from around the world and suggests that many voters now have forsaken fundamental value for personal gain. The rich controls the mass media, and the mass media controls public opinion. That means the rich controls everything. Industry increases productivity and efficiency, but doesn't take into account the natural and the environmental costs paid by the mother nature. All these are not traditional Chinese concepts of the relationship between individually versus groups or humans versus nature. Where is Taipei? Where is Taipei among these clashes of ideas and values? On one hand, Taipei looks like another regular society based on Chinese culture. We value family, tradition, and education. We encourage collaboration over competition. However, on the other hand, Taipei is quite different from other Chinese cities, Chinese society. Let me give you some example. There are many NPO or NGO in Taiwan. I don't know how many, but there are at least 10,000. We have many NPO and NGO. No censorship. Taiwan is one of the most free countries in the world on the press freedom, rated by Reporters Without Borders. Their Asia headquarters just relocated to Taipei recently from Hong Kong. Water will flow to a low place. Reporter will flow to a freer space. Okay. You know what I mean. For the fast-breaking festival last year, 50,000 Muslims gathered in Taipei main station to celebrate with their friends and family. You can imagine, this is very amazing. Can you imagine 50,000 Muslims gathered together in a non-Muslim country to celebrate fast-breaking festival? This means Taiwan is very open. We can accept different culture. At least, okay, we can tolerate, okay. This is another example. Last October, 120,000 show up for the Pride Parade. This is the biggest one in Asia. There are more than 5,000 to fly to Taipei from overseas because it was a milestone year for same-sex marriage rights. Taiwan's constitutional court ruled it legal. Perhaps you find it puzzling how this coexists peacefully in a city like Taipei. So this is one character, Taipei. We can accept much different ideas peacefully in Taiwan. So I think these are Taipei's value. And this is how Taipei incorporates progressive Western value into a Chinese society. Taipei doesn't need to follow in the footsteps of the United States, mainland China, or anyone else. But we stick to our values and beliefs, which are democracy, freedom, diversity, openness, human rights, rule of law, and sustainability. I believe these values will lift the standard of living for the people. And these values and beliefs are the very reason why I was elected to be the mayor. They are aligned with the European Union's fundamental rights of dignity, freedom, equality, solidarity, citizen rights, and justice. And this is why European cities should cooperate with Taipei. I believe we will mutually benefit from this partnership. Everyone knows what is wrong and what is right. So the only thing to do now is to insist on these values. Citizens of Taipei didn't vote for me because I play by the party rules or I fit in the current political culture, but because I believe and insist what they already believe in their demand. So I will stand up for this value: democracy, freedom, diversity, openness, human rights, rule of law, and sustainability. And these are the values and beliefs that I will keep fighting for. At last, I will always remember the people of Taipei didn't vote for me to conform to the political culture, but to change it. Thank you.